Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 166 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I had challenged myself to run 365 days in a row outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I had also originally challenged myself to run 1,250 miles within that time frame, but I got ahead of schedule. So I've decided to up the mileage to 1,500 miles for the year. Now, this is only my second year ever running. Within the first full year in 2020, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days out of the year. So this is a 100% step up in the amount of days I'll be running this year, 365, and a 50% step up in the amount of miles I'll be going for this year, 1,500. I also challenged myself to really take a step up this year by challenging myself to a 50K trail race within this year and a marathon. So the 50K trail race has been done, finished, put in the books. Really stoked and excited about that. Got it done in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. That was in the Yankee Springs trail race out in Yankee Springs, Michigan. And now I have the Detroit Free Press Marathon to look forward to coming up here in October. After the 50K trail race, I was feeling sore, feeling a little stiff, but was still able to get out there the following day and the days after to continue my streak. Now we're sitting here on day 166. So speaking of that, day 166, let's talk mileage real quick. So 4.7 miles, guys, for the day today, which put me at 9.4 miles for the week, which put me at 67.5 miles for the month, which put me at 727.7 miles for the year. Now let's focus on these monthly miles here for a second. 67.5. Every single month, guys, I challenge myself to do a 100-mile challenge, and I do it in honor of a different charity every single month where I donate money to. And I also start a fundraiser in honor of that charity and try to raise money and awareness for them that way. So for the first 5 months, we were able to raise money for 5 great charities. And now we're sitting here in the 6th month, and we are raising money for the Alzheimer's Association because the month of June, guys, is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So if you would like to donate to this month's 100-mile challenge in June in honor of the Alzheimer's Association, you can find the link to do that on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story. You may also find the link to do that on my personal page's Facebook story, as well as my personal page's Instagram story. You click on the link on top of those stories, it'll open up another page on Facebook where you're able to make your donation. All donations that get made to this fundraiser will go directly to this fundraiser. Facebook does not take any cut or percentage of your donation. That's why we continue to do them through Facebook, because they have agreed not to take any percentage at all. So that being said, guys, I know times are tough and not everyone is able to make a donation, or maybe you are able to make a donation and you still want to help out even more. One thing you can do if you're not able to make a donation or want to help out more is you can click that share button on this fundraiser so you shares across your social media pages, and we can raise awareness that way. Hopefully we get as many eyes on it as possible. Not only are we trying to raise money and funds, but we are just trying to raise awareness about this fundraiser and about these charities. So click that share button, donate money, guys. Let's do it for Alzheimer's this month, the Alzheimer's Association. Other than that, let's kind of just get ready to talk about today's episode. But before we get into today's episode, we're going to do a quick checkup of what we talked about 2 days ago. I've decided to do talk about every single day a word of the day, and just kind of talk about a book that I've been reading for 30 minutes a day. So for the book I've been reading, I talked about it. I started reading the second book in the series of the 12 Rules for Life series book by Jordan Peterson. This is Beyond Order. I was able to get through. I was able to get through the overture, and I'm actually now going to be starting chapter 1 tonight. So was able to get through the overture yesterday, 30 minutes. Really excited. I actually think this is going to. It's kind of really ironic. The first book I bought and didn't read for months, and then the time I read it was at the time of my life when I really needed to read it, and it just hit even harder than it should have. And I bought this. This came out in March. I was really excited. I pre-ordered it, got here on the day, and then it just sat here. I never really read it. I was always excited to read it because what the first one has done for me. So I was really excited to read it, but just never really cracked it open. And got through the overture, like I said, and am getting ready to start the first chapter. And I can already tell. Again, everything happens for a reason, because this is going to reflect, I think, very well with what is going on in my life. So, anyways, who knows? We'll see when it comes, but so far, so good. Excited. Now let's kind of talk about the word of the day. The word of the day is fealty, and fealty is another word for intense fidelity, the obligation of such fidelity. So is another useful word that I'm going to be adding to my repertoire of words, my vocabulary. So let's kind of get into today's episode now that we've kind of talked about the word of the day, talked about the book I'm reading, talked about the mileage, talked about the fundraiser, and kind of just talked about the goals and everything like that, guys. So for today, episode 166, we're going to just talk about obstacles. And nothing in particular. I don't have anything written down, so I might veer off and kind of just go off in the distance and whatever. But some obstacles have recently popped up in my life. And, trying to really, really figure out the best approach to them. Many times when obstacles have popped up within my life, a lot of the times I turn around and I say, screw it, or not, it's not worth it, or whatever the case may be. But I think when you're really passionate about something, or when you really strive, or you really need to do something, and you are determined to do something, I think obstacles can pop up. And I think when you're determined and you have that drive, I think nothing's going to stop you. No obstacle will stop you. So, and I have found that drive, and I have found some meaning. And, right now it seems aimless at points, especially from an outside view. Maybe it seems a little crazy, or not very understandable, or pointless, or maybe seems like it's not going to go anywhere, or anything like that. I get that, but I have found meaning, so I'm not going to let any obstacle that comes before me stand in my way. And that's kind of what I want to just really talk about, because obstacles within our lives, they pop up. And like I said, I used to be the one that would turn around and say it's not worth the effort, it's not worth the hard work, it's not worth learning how to overcome this. And there's so much you learn from overcoming an obstacle. That's something that we don't really think about, but we have the outlook on life to try to avoid as many obstacles as possible. I think that's what we really do. We try to avoid those obstacles. We try to avoid the things that may not make it a smooth, easy path to whatever our destination is. But I think the beauty is within those obstacles. Maybe when you're within it, it hurts and it sucks, and it seems like there's no way out, and it seems like maybe the best option is to turn around. But I think there's so much to learn and gain from overcoming and really pushing through and figuring a way out and around or through that obstacle. And, no matter how hard or how hopeless it may seem, I think when you do something with meaning and purpose, you could really persevere and push through. So, again, I think obstacles are there to teach us. I think obstacles are there to make us better. And when you come across an obstacle, yes, you can turn around and you can run away, or you can face it and face it with strength, and face it with confidence, and face it like you would face anything else that you are confident about. When you wake up and do whatever you got to do that you're passionate about. Whatever it is you like to do that for fun, whatever that is, when you're passionate or whenever it's fun, it's easy to do. We'll face that obstacle with that same passion, and understand that it's just a puzzle that you're gonna overcome, that you're gonna face, and then when you do overcome it and you do go around it and beat it, that you're only gonna be stronger and better for doing it. So guys, other than that, just wanted to talk about obstacles, because I am facing many, many, many obstacles right now within my life. Ducking, diving, just trying to get around them and doing a pretty good job, but it's still sometimes gets overwhelming, and sometimes I do question myself and question what am I doing, and but it's those times when you just click in the headphones and you put on your motivational music or whatever it is that gets you pumped, and you get back out there and you start grinding and you realize what you're doing everything for. So I want to thank you guys so much for listening. Episode 166 of the Defining Discipline podcast. Before I leave you guys, I'm going to leave you with your daily discipline for the day. And it is to overcome those obstacles in your life. You know what obstacles you are facing currently. I know what obstacles I'm facing. I know what obstacles keep continuously popping up. And I have to continuously go around and figure out how to overcome them. So whatever obstacles you are facing within your life, overcome them. Don't turn around. Don't run away from them. Become stronger. Figure out how to overcome them and become better because of that. That is your daily discipline for the day. It is to really focus on those obstacles within your life and really start making the effort and whatever it is you have to be doing to start the process to start overcoming those obstacles. So now that you got your daily discipline, guys, I am going to start heading out. Thank you so much for following along and listening. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. I am your host, Scott. This was episode 166. This is day 166 in a row as well. Want to give you a quick reminder, make your donations to the Alzheimer's Association because the month of June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. You can find the link to do that on the Defining Discipline Instagram story and Facebook story, as well as my personal pages, Instagram and Facebook stories, guys. Go on there, make your donations for the month of June. Get your reading done, get your daily discipline done, get out there. Let's just try to be better people and really let's try to make the world a better place instead of making it such a divided, hateful place. So other than that, thanks so much for listening. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 167. If you guys can, please give this podcast and our social media accounts a like, a subscribe, a follow, a share. Do that on our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, our TikTok, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been following along on. Other than that, thanks so much for listening along. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.